Advertising and marketing. Everyone speaks about business to business, business to consumer. I'm going to tell you now, the only thing that really works going forward is person-to-person marketing. People buy from people. When you're a thought leader, they trust you, you've built an influence, and they will come to you for advice. The other thing is that with the invent and the whole evolving of YouTube, you all have got a TV station now. That's how we've got to think. So how are we communicating? Why are we communicating in such an antiquated way just because someone taught us how to do that? Think about how you can communicate authentically as opposed to trying to do it the same way everyone else has done it. So what does go wrong? That's why we didn't read the manual. It's as simple as that. It was too long. Who reads those long emails they get? We don't read it. Okay, because we'll pick up our phone and go to our colleague and say, did you read that email? What did it say? Because that's how it works. So if you want to find out how your camera works, just go onto YouTube and someone will tell you how your camera works and what the best is to do. Someone will show you the tricks that your iPhone has got that you never knew about. All those things, it's there. People are sharing it all the time. So you want you want your product out there, you want your service out there, but you don't want to be talking about yourself. And that's what you need. That's how advertising is going to go. And you've got to keep it simple. Remember that as nicely as we think we speak, okay, or as badly as I speak, okay, we've got to understand that we've got to keep it simple. And people have got to understand what we say. Because suddenly it makes sense, because it's simple. It's not highfalutin. I didn't have to be Shakespeare to write a script anymore. And that's how it's changing. So we realize that we've got to make our sentences shorter. And I can blog, and people seem to like my blog because it's written normally. It's not written highfalutinly. It just shows you how things have changed. So you'll always find your relevance if you're giving people what they want and not what you think they need. We rely on the experts. So expert comes in, he tells you, oh, no, we think we should do this. And you know in your heart of hearts that honestly that is not what you should be doing, but he's the expert and it's worked for everyone else. Take his advice and then chew on it and ask your friends and ask your followers, because that's what they're there for. You can ask them for advice. People love giving you advice. But you don't just need one expert, and the best is you had to pay the expert. When you ask your information online, you just go, what do you think? And the deluge of information comes back at you. So what do people want? In my opinion, what do they want is they want everything all the time. That's why social networking works, because they can get everything they need all the time. But don't you expect that you must be everything to everybody all the time, because then you won't be relevant. And that's why they follow you, because they trust that you're going to give them the things that you're interested in because they're interested in the same things as you are. And of course they want consistency, and of course they want you to listen. Okay? And if you're not listening, well, that's fine. They understand that as well, and then they probably unfollow you, or they don't even unfollow you, because that's just another effort. They'll just find someone else to listen to. So one day you can't decide you're going to do this, and then tomorrow you're going to do that, then no one trusts you. You've got to get your consistency in your message, and it all comes back to that intention. When your intention's right, you'll communicate without even thinking about it. It'll always be consistent because you got your thinking right. Whatever you are, don't see yourself in the limitations that other people have put on you, because you are very creative and you can really communicate well. But don't expect yourself to communicate like everyone else communicates, because then you're going to miss it. Find your own space. And that's what makes it the beauty of online, is you're going to find those people who love you for who you are, who find you significant for who you are, and do it. And the more you do it, the more you're going to learn to do it, and it's easier it's going to become, and the more unique you're going to become in the process. Don't wait for other people to tell you what to do. Just find your own space. Emotional intelligence, don't take offense. Forgiveness, because everyone says, I must forgive you. Oh, please. When you got it wrong about forgiveness is when I must forgive you. I must first forgive myself, because I took the offense. So don't get offended with people. You got offended with yourself. So deal with your own issues. Realize, what is the difference going to be? Play the scenario out. If this person says, I'm a pig or whatever, is it going to change my life? Give up the need to be right and suddenly you're emotionally intelligent. But also realize that if you say that you're emotionally intelligent, that you're not. Because then you really haven't given up the need to be right. It's a constant evolving of yourself, the emotional intelligence. What can you do for them? How can you leave them better than you found them, as opposed to trying to always be right? And then change, and change, and change, and change. Now, we come from a background, most of us, where we love security. Okay, now I want to try to change your perspective on that security. The only way that you can be secure in today's life is that you're in a constant state of change. So if you are not comfortable with the fact that change is happening all the time, and if it's not changing, you've got to become uncomfortable. So if change is happening all the time, and you're comfortable with that, you're in the right space. The world's changing remarkably fast. And if you are not changing at the speed that the world is changing at, or faster, okay, you're becoming an extinct species. And the only way we can learn quickly is by ask the right questions. So keep asking the right questions and make sure that they're right. And I've also got a saying where if you're going to bed at night and you haven't got lots of ideas banging around in your head, you've got to be worried. Probably the nugget that I want to leave with you is keep calm and play nicely.